What up, everybody? How you guys doing? How is everybody doing? Hey, remember streaming? Y'all remember that? What's that all about, huh? What's that about? We don't know. It has been way too long, everybody. I mean, it's literally been, what? 6 months? Or so? Yeah. Yeah. It's been a time. I'm rocking Banished. I don't have my hotkey set up and stuff. This is a warm-up. It's a practice. Ah! Banished. What's it say on the back again? Isn't it like Atriox? Help! I can't read it. Chat. Someone tell me what it says back there. I can't turn far enough. Someone let me know what that says. It's Atriox, right? I can probably see it in my delayed stream. It is. I see it. Okay. Say the first day of the flight. So the flight starts tomorrow. Tomorrow. I don't know what time. I don't know if they said anything about that. I also didn't even I was so excited about my email that I never actually read the full email of the invite. I'm gonna do that right now. Let's see. Multiplayer. All right. Who all got in? You guys all got in? I'm just gonna read some stuff here. What do we have? Halo Insider, sign up. Haha. I don't know what they said, so. Bro, you should stream on Mixer. Yeah. Y'all remember Mixer? Welcome to the stream. Can we get a like train? Can we get a like train? Can you hit that like button? Tease it. I need to no, it's really tripping me out. Hop out, chat. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Guys, I'm so rusty. I am so rusty. At any point, I was tweaking stuff. If at any point, audio's not good, my audio isn't loud enough or stream audio isn't loud enough, whatever, y'all let me know. That being said, oh, there we go. Look at that. I didn't even sign up due to laziness. Dude, sorry, I actually have no sympathy for the people. We saw, there was I kept getting comments on my Instagram, oh, bro, how do I sign up? And I'm like, ooh, you're late. What do you guys think? Do you think they'll even I doubt they would bring more, if you're not in, you're not in for this test, right? This seems very much like a scream so loud your mic clips. Yeah. Hey, to be fair, at least I have a setting on where it'll clip versus me blowing your eardrums out. That's the worst. Dan Rusty, Dan's officially a boomer. Yeah. What up, William? Yes, your audio and stuff. I mean, it's kind of just quiet music right now. It's not super loud, but again, let me know at any point. It's turn it up. We'll crank it up. It's starting. What time is it? In 4 minutes? The amount of insider advertising spam on, not even just on Twitter, but everywhere. Also delay, oof. Yeah, I wanted to make sure everything was smooth. You're gonna get a friggin' 5-second delay or something. Can I restart with less delay, or is it even worth it? It's gonna be higher quality if I don't do less delay, but you let me know. It's been a while, What up, Scribs? Yeah, they were definitely telling everyone like crazy. Yeah, you guys check your promotions tab. I hear a lot of people are finding them in their promotions tab. I'm checking right now, lads. If I can just will it allow me to just restart stream with lower latency? I mean, I doubt it. I don't know. What do you think? You think you should try it? Is it worth it? We have 3 minutes. It's solid. Okay, I'm gonna try it. Here we go. We're gonna end the stream and come back. I'll be right back. Stay here. Well, will things break? 30 seconds. That's a long. I don't know. What do you guys think? Because you think it's like I feel like I'm gonna break some if I end stream. YOLO, we're keeping it. I don't. Yeah, it's not worth it. It's not that crazy. I just set. Like, I literally set it on like the lowest latency, just to keep it smooth. But well, I mean highest latency. Lowest setting, you know. As long as I remember as the first person who showed up to the stream, I'm happy. You were the first person to show up to the stream. That's correct. So this is a trial run, guys. My thought is that tomorrow it starts? My brain, dude. I'll stream here. Like, we'll just, like, as soon as that lad be out, we're gonna go live. I have some phone calls tomorrow, so that's gonna be the tough part. So there may have to be a point where, like, I'll just, like, hide out. Or also, this, like, background stuff is sick. I'm really enjoying this, like. Yeah. But we're gonna be streaming probably here. Right here on the YouTube. That is the current plan. We'll play with stuff. We'll see, you know. I don't think this is inevitably a sign that I'll come back and be like streaming all the time. Yeah, viewership's definitely generous. Golly, can't wait to see this. I know, right? Yeah. 1 minute. The promo tab. I know, dude. It's so... Oh, it's getting quiet. So much stuff appears in your promotions tab. Here it comes. It's happening. It's just gonna be like the same kind of stuff, isn't it? That's quiet. Is it quiet?
Together, we are unstoppable. Are you ready?
I'm gonna bump it a bit. Let me know how that is.
Killing spree. Double kill.
Hello, let's do some damage.
There we go. It's like
Skewer acquired.
it's like at my voice level now. Yeah. I don't know if this spot's supposed to be pretty loud. Very loud anyway.
Claim the enemy flag.
It's a quiet stream for some
Return
reason.
to base.
Hello. Oh, I'm not live anymore. Okay, fine.
Ordnance drop inbound.
Oh my god, are you the Green Skull? I actually love this trailer. Like, I love what they did for it. Like, it's I've talked about it before, but
Flag is ours.
having edited similar kind of trailers, like, there's actually really well done some of these
Haul ass
transitions.
At your earliest convenience.
Please, haul ass. Dude, we gotta throw some noob cubes.
Show me what you can do.
Oh yeah, what is with the audio? Dude, what's going on with this stream? Audio's out of sync in the main Halo channel too? Okay, well then, it's not me, baby. It's not me, we good, baby. Maybe it's just for that video they were going.
Hey everyone, what is
Jeez,
up?
it is.
This is Brian, also known as Sketch across the community, and we are coming to you live today from
Look at
343
Sketch's
Industries here in
hair,
Redmond,
dude.
Washington. And let me just say, it feels great to be back. I feel like today has been a long time coming. I'm excited to finally kick this off. I know you all are. So welcome to today's live stream, and we are going to dive into
It is
this weekend's
real out of
upcoming
sync.
Halo Infinite tech preview. Now, before we get going, just want to give you guys a little bit of context for what we're going to cover today. We're going to have a couple guests rotate through. We're going to dive right into the same exact build that
Halo
Halo
confirmed.
Insiders will get their hands
Audio
on
out of
starting
sync.
tomorrow. We are live, so all the same known issues that we're aware of in this tech preview that's work in progress are also in this build today. So
I was just
who
gonna,
knows
like,
what's going to happen?
they're just
Hopefully
playing live?
everything goes smoothly. But
thought they were just gonna, like,
ask
talk
everyone
about it and
to
show
bear
some
with us.
clips.
Also, I've kind of been in my house in the quarantine for about 2 years, if you can't tell. So we
Yeah,
might be a little bit
dude,
rusty,
it's
but we're going to have a lot of
absolutely
fun today.
majestic.
We got a lot of cool stuff to talk about and show. So to kick things off, want to introduce Sam Hanshaw, producer on the live team.
Look at the
Sam,
quality
welcome.
of this camera, though.
Thanks. It's good to be here. I'm ready to have some fun and introduce our fans to our first tech preview.
So let's sort of start by setting a little bit of context. And I know folks are eager to
like, kinda
see
covering
and
Brian. I
see
should move my
stuff and
face
dive in.
down.
We're going to get to that in a few minutes, but
Here.
just let's kind of start at the highest level. We talk about fighting a lot. We talk about tech previews a lot. Kind of what do we want our viewers and our insiders to know? Like, what do we mean? Like, what is the context for what this really is?
Sure. So I think that calling it a tech preview, that encapsulates it. We're testing our technology here.
Halo
We're
Infinite
looking to
confirmed.
get players into games. We're looking to make sure that the servers are up and running.
Dude, I'd wear that shirt.
well, and that we can support everything with our service infrastructure. Obviously, we also want people to have fun while doing it, and we need to get feedback on the breadth of hardware that we know is out there. You know, we can't test on every combination of hardware that people have for their PCs, but we know that the folks at home can, and so we need your help to do that.
And this is safe to say this will be the biggest scale test that we've been able to do to date.
Fix
We're
the
talking
sink, start
hundreds
again.
of thousands of Halo insiders have been
Fix
invited
the sink.
to
Fix
participate
the
this weekend.
sink.
And obviously we've been
Yeah, it's
hard at
has
work
their
testing.
stream, man.
We've done smaller scale
Unfortunately.
flights to lead up to this point. But like, what does that
If they... are they fixing it right now?
process look like? Like, what,
We cut this branch about 2 months ago, and that's when we started with a lot of the testing for it and kind of targeted bug
Playable.
fixes towards getting a stable product to have out today for tech preview. Now, it's 2 months old. It's still got some bugs. We know that. We've got a robust known issues list for folks to be prepared before they dive in. And we expect you to hit some new bugs that we haven't seen. And that's part of what we're excited about, because we need your help to find these bugs, and so we can see how they're reproduced and fix them internally. But yeah, it's been
Something
about
about
2 months
reproducing
of
with
testing,
bugs?
fixing, and play testing.
I'm just repeating what they're
get to
saying,
this.
all right?
and if I really wanted to roll it back even further, it's safe to say that we've been flighting as kind of a process. Which, by the way, for those that aren't familiar, because not everybody uses the same jargon out there, right?
When
When
the
we talk about
spokesperson
flighting,
isn't
it's really
wearing
the
anything
process of
Halo
putting
related,
out
so they slap
kind
some
of
pins on
iterative
them.
pre-release
This
software
won't do.
to a target audience with
Have
some
a
expected
Xbox
goals to
pin,
go after.
have a Halo
we put
pin.
the build out, it tests, we get the feedback, and we act on that feedback and sort of move on to the next one. So safe to say we've been doing this for quite some time at a much smaller scale. So this is not the first time we've put the game in the hands of civilians, so to speak. So we've been getting
What is...
feedback
Wait,
all
why
along.
are
I
you
just kinda
using this,
wanted to
like,
bring that point up.
old
This is
Xbox One
it's not
controller?
like
You
we've
seeing
just
this,
been heads
guys?
down. This is our first time sharing our baby with the world.
Is it just
We've
me? Is
had a
that like...
small
That looks
group
like a
of,
friggin' OG
various
Xbox One
insider
controller,
private
doesn't it?
flights, user research. So all these inputs have been a critical part of development, really since the beginning, certainly. But now we're opening the floodgates to get
not a Series
all
X
sorts
controller,
of new
that's-
perspectives, and I think critically, fresh eyes, brand new perspectives.
Yeah, absolutely. Fresh eyes, fresh hardware, like everything that we could ask for. It's coming from the hundreds of thousands of people who are going to be playing this weekend.
Halo plays best
So
on PS4.
before we move on, I also just want to comment on,
Hey, we have the same
if your
mouse.
Twitter feed's like mine, the invite started rolling out yesterday about 5 p.m. to eligible insiders. It's been kind of a whirlwind of emotions, I'm sure, for many people. Sending out hundreds of thousands of emails, it turns out, takes a lot of time. There are people, as of an hour or two ago, I'm seeing are just now receiving their emails. So I think my message to everyone is, not everyone will get in this particular tech preview and this flight. And we knew that was going to be the case because, we need to incrementally grow. We sort of want to walk before we run, right?
I think what they're
But
saying
do
is
wanna
if
make
you
sure
didn't
people
get
know that
in,
there
then
will
Halo
be
doesn't like
future
you.
opportunities,
You know?
right? This is not the only tech preview that we've planned between now and launch.
That's correct. This is the first and probably the smallest. So as we grow and over the coming months, as we put out new builds with additional features, they're each going to have a larger and larger audience as we head towards launch.
So just really critically, if you want to be a participant in a future tech preview or flight, please head to haloinsider.com. Anyone can opt in at any point. Make sure your profile is completed. We'd love to get more and more people in for future flights, as Sam mentioned.
Yeah, reminder, guys.
Sam,
sign
maybe now
up
let's shift gears a little bit. I think one of
for,
the really cool and ambitious
on
aspects
Halo
of this
Waypoint,
project
Halo
is
Insider.
kind of the
You've
breadth
no
of platforms
excuses.
that we're going to support right now. I mean, we not only is our multiplayer experience free to play, but cross-play. I mean, we are really truly going to where our players are, regardless of platform.
Yeah, and this tech preview
PlayStation,
is no
Switch,
exception. We're going to
Android.
be flighting this tech preview
Ouya.
on all the platforms we intend to ship with at launch. So you're going to be able to play on anything in the Xbox One family, the Series X and Series S, and we're going to be going out to, as I said before, a variety of PC hardware, and all of that's going to be cross-play.
What's the
And
top
the
pin
PC, by the
he
way,
has?
also
Anybody
on
recognize
Steam,
that?
which
I
we
think it's
know
like
a
a
lot
cat
of fans
thing.
were excited about.
What
I
is
think
that?
for the purpose of this tech preview, we're only on Steam for PC, but obviously for launch, that won't be the only means of playing our game. Now, one thing we did want to know, I think, Sam, at a high level, safe to say that the experience that we're going to put out in this tech preview, specifically on each of these platforms, when it comes to like fidelity and performance, safe to say that what's in the preview today is not necessarily indicative of our targets when we launch this game.
Yeah, that's correct. So performance is something that we're working on week after week. And as I said before, this is a build that's about 2 months old. So we cut this from main 2 months ago to work on it. And a lot of the performance work that goes in.
Yo, I
wasn't
also have a
appropriate to
special
bring
edition.
over to
Ooh,
this
yeah, let me
branch
get that.
because performance work can often create instability. We wanted to keep this as stable as possible when we launch it to you all. So this build, about 2 months behind in terms of performance. And obviously there's more runway to go before we launch later this year.
And I would assume the data we get from this tech preview will be really valuable as we continue to sort of make sure we're supporting the widest breadth of PC configurations, for example. And really the team's goal is to deliver a really solid, performant, good-looking experience catered to every platform that we support.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself.
So speaking of that, I know people are eager to see some stuff. It's kind of cool, really, if you think
Show
about
Halo.
it, life to date, we've only ever
Show
shown Halo
Halo.
Infinite
Show
running on
Halo.
PC. And we're going to do that here live today in a little
Andy,
bit.
are
We're going to
you
show some stuff
mad?
off. But this is
Yeah,
going to
you'll
be the
know
first time people can see what the game looks like running on an actual Xbox hardware. So prior to this stream, we were able to put together a little bit of gameplay capture. And I'd like to give folks a glimpse at, this is going to be a Halo Infinite multiplayer match.
I'm gonna be
Recorded,
playing
I believe,
on
last week here in
my
the studio.
PSP?
Just to
my,
give people a sense of this is the game
Zoom
as it
HD
currently
with
stands in
ODST
this
on the
build,
back?
running on an Xbox
On
One.
my Game
So
Boy Micro?
I'm going to give a shout out to Joshua here behind the scenes. He's running production for the live stream. Josh, if you want to cue that up, I think people are really eager to see some gameplay. Let's take a look. Let's see how this game's looking currently on Xbox One.
Go, baby. Xbox One, though, not One X, One S. Someone just got a double kill.
Spartan down.
All right, all right. So they're playing live, right? Is that what they said? Yeah, Xbox. That's wild. I'm trying to like pinpoint really wildness. This gun here is a.
Sam, clearly we're looking at a little Slayer match here on Bazaar, one of our new maps. There's a lot to take in, I'm sure, for viewers who are just seeing
It's
a
just
lot
like,
of
yeah,
stuff
that's
for the first time.
my brain be just like.
Yeah, I can't remember
Consume.
if we've shown things like the Pulse Carbine being used in first person. I think it was
Pulse
briefly
Carbine.
shown in the multiplayer trailer.
That's right.
And I think this is the first time we've shown first person view of someone.
Can we like see him get a
walking
kill with
around
this
in
thing?
I think it has. We're also right now kind of getting a look at the friend and foe system that we've discussed in some of our blogs in the past. This is kind of moving away from forcing players into red and blue. Allows us to kind of maintain
Oh,
that
do you see
unique
those,
armor customization.
He
that's
like
become
red
a greater focal point for Halo
guns.
Infinite.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I think this is a pretty good example of that. And I think you're really seeing.
Yo,
those
if
colors
Red Team
pop
comes
out
back and
on
wins
the
it all,
Xbox One hardware.
we out.
It's great.
I think I just noticed a
leaving.
custom skin applied to that AR there that we saw briefly.
I missed it, unfortunately.
This map looks
I do
really
love
cool.
Oh yeah, I love the
Like little
AR
barrels
skins.
hanging around and stuff. Like there's a lot of
It's kind of nice being able to customize
of
your
little
starting
details on
weapon.
this map. Like that
It's the one
lighting.
you're gonna see most often. So
And this, I feel like
I like
this dude's
that
played
lighting.
this whole time in this single
show.
little area here.
Now,
Go around the
internally,
map,
from
my
a
dude.
development playtest
Come on,
perspective,
shit, there you go.
obviously we've got the teams
Oh,
focusing on all
got 'em.
platforms and all builds, and safe to say
come on.
that we've got folks
Explore a bit.
truly getting sweaty
He's like,
on
you're
Durango,
lucky
on
it's back
Xbox
there
Series
again.
X and S.
Go
and
elsewhere.
low,
I want to
mid,
see
medium,
more
and
of
high
the map.
PC specs
Come
as well, right?
on.
Yeah. So
What are you doing?
Obviously, as I said before, we can't cover every PC spec out there, but we try to have a good range.
Oh, that
within our
pistol doesn't seem
testing.
too bad.
And we have folks playing on Xbox Ones regularly, myself included. I try and playtest on Xbox One as much as possible, because it's a really important thing.
I'm
for us to
loving the
support,
like
make sure it's
not
looking good.
crazy looking skin.
Yeah,
It's
it
just
really-
like red. It's just red.
It really is
it's
awesome
a red
that
AR.
we're able to kind of bring that
Right?
audience forward with us, right? We know there's obviously
Look, he's back here
a
again.
large amount
My
of Xbox
dude,
One players out there,
please,
especially as,
anywhere.
frankly, some people I think are
Move
still
around
eager
the
to
map.
acquire a new
Look at the
console.
plant.
and
Yo,
with
that
some of the
plant's
supply
named
chain
Jeffrey.
issues that have
We've named
come
that
around
plant
during the
Jeffrey.
pandemic,
That
not
plant is
necessarily
our
easy
friend.
for everyone. So, thankfully, I'm not one of the engineers. I can't imagine it's necessarily a trivial
assassinations? Yeah, we
undertaking
haven't
to
seen
be able to
assassinations.
scale so smartly across different hardware, but I gotta say, shaping up super nice, and really looking forward to getting some feedback from Xbox One players after this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that's going to wrap up that clip that we have. Now we're going to show a little more gameplay here in a bit. We're going to have Tom French, our
Come on.
multiplayer
Just, like,
associate
go to the
creative
other side of the
director, join
map.
us. We have another
The
match from
overshield.
Xbox
The
Series
overshield.
X that we're
Get
going
the
to get
overshield.
into. But once this wraps
you
up, we're going
fool.
to jump back over to the build, and we're going to look through this real flight build here. By the way, I heard you're a real Needler fan. Is that true?
That is true. I
That was
love
the smallest
Needler.
little
I
gameplay
find-
loop
I think
in the
it's one of
same
the
little
most unique
area.
weapons we have in Halo, and I've loved every expression.
think
of
we've
it.
seen
It hasn't always been the
assassinations.
most powerful gun in the game, but it's always been interesting to use.
It feels like it shreds in this game, at least in our playtest, right?
Yeah.
It's do not sleep on the Needler this weekend. I'll just say that.
Yeah, especially like against bots, like they don't know how to deal with it. So
Yeah,
it's
you
real
don't
good
know.
against
All
them.
right,
You
bots
mentioned bots.
suck.
We'll talk about
Confirmed.
that a little bit more.
The bots don't know
a little
how
bit
to
later
deal
in
with
the show
Needlers.
today when Tom joins us. Why don't we sort of pivot back now to the real build, which I'm sure people are really eager to see.
Show new
I
area.
thought maybe we just kind of help give our players who are going to be a part of the tech preview, just kind of give them the lay of the land a little bit, show them what they can expect and what that's going to look like. So Josh, maybe if
People
you want
love their assassinations.
to,
I've always
we'll
been
go
super
to my feed,
indifferent to
I reckon, and we
assassinations. Like
can
it's
sort of
like
take a look at
they were always a gimmick to me. But
at our lobby space, I guess.
Well, what do I know?
What is the official term for this space? that
it
we're
would
gonna
suck
feed
if we
into?
didn't have them though.
Once Josh is able to kind of hit that switch. There we go.
Oh,
So
we got
this
a menu.
is it, right? This is our tech preview build. We're looking at it right now live.
Yep, this is the
Customized
essentially
shop.
the menu that you're gonna hit as soon as you boot up.
I like the Spartan
So,
chilling in the background
you
here.
can
He's
see,
just
like,
hanging
the
out.
Multiplayer and Academy options there. If you hit start, you can get into our main settings, and there's a few settings I think we wanna
Show
Let's
settings.
take a look. I mean, no, I like settings. No one's ever seen these settings in detail before, so we'll kind of take a look here. So we want to make sure, obviously, players understand and like first thing you should do if you're going to be in the tech
Mark/helmet
preview this
light up on
weekend,
the
probably
D-pad.
just kind of get acclimated.
Switch
tweak your
grenades.
settings to your
AI
liking, just make sure
scan
that things are
down
sort of
on the
way
D-pad.
You want them, if you will. So I think I'll just quickly scroll through. I'm not going to speak to every one of these. I think we'll be here all afternoon, but I think you're going to find a lot of sort of what you'd expect to find in some regards. Hold the sprint if I want to do that. I can kind of really dial in my sensitivity and all that.
Whoa,
I'm pretty casual, so
That's
I
good.
kind of tend to just run default in a lot of cases. I'm not afraid
Zoom
to admit that.
sensitivities for all the different zooms.
Yeah, I think that I've never gotten into all the zoom sensitivity settings, but
I'm just worried I would get myself
gonna be
into
the
a
first to
state where I
teabag a
would just
bot?
never
Well,
land
me.
a shot again, or who knows? Maybe I would suddenly sort of evolve to the next level. Now, keyboard and mouse players on PC and also I believe console now supports mouse and keyboard as well. Excuse me.
Step jump.
A couple things here they might want to look at that's pretty interesting. If we can get down to it,
Enable
is
mouse
the fact
magnetism.
that triple keybinds. You have a lot of flexibility here in how
Drop
you want to set
weapon?
up your keys.
Wait, was there a
I want
drop
to give a
weapon?
shout out, as all the work that happened over the last couple of years to update MCC and bring that to PC, and then all the
see
fantastic work
that.
by the pub team. Being able to have triple keybinds was super important to the PC community. That was great feedback that we heard, and that's a good example of just one of taking those learnings and kind of that experience. And
Yeah,
bringing it over to the
MCC
Infinite
stuff has
Yeah,
given
I
them
think
so much to work
we
with.
owe a great debt
So
to
much
all
to
the
work with.
that
MCC
and the
has
team has done
just a
with diving
man.
in,
They've come back like
feet
crazy.
first into the PC environment and getting us ready for this.
I'll hover on this one for a minute because I'm pretty sure I haven't been able to do this before in the game. Have I been able to actually just straight up
A
drop my
drop
weapon
weapon?
for a
That's
teammate
sick.
before?
Not that I
Yeah.
know of, and honestly, it's been
Dude.
quite fun to use. Especially
Drop
when you're
weapon
playing
for a
with, like, some
teammate.
less
That's so
experienced
good,
players.
man.
if you can just secure rockets for them and then.
So
hand
here's the
over
thing,
to
though.
them,
I
they get
kind
to
of
play
don't
around
like
with
when I'm
power
like
weapons
playing
they
with
might not
fans or
normally
whatever,
got.
and then they like, you know,
dare we say
they make
maybe
a
this
point
is the
of giving
end
me
of
stuff.
betraying your teammates to take sniper?
So like,
Yeah,
don't
now
do
you
it to
just
me,
gotta
you know?
extort
Like
them, I guess.
Possibly.
like people
Cool,
seem to
so
feel the
a
need
whole
to be
bunch
like,
of
oh, I
stuff
got the
here.
rocket. Here
you know,
you
this
go.
is something
right?
else
Like,
that
don't
we,
give that cheap
I
fat, buddy.
think
I
was
don't want that.
mentioned in
That
one
being
of our
said,
employee
yo,
spotlight
boys,
blogs,
I'm
but,
gonna be giving people a sniper.
marking
You know what I mean?
is also a new
Like if I'm playing with a
element
sniper, I'll be
to
like,
video
all
games.
yours, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
and
take this
I've actually
away.
been really happy with the marking system. So if you're on PC, it is super easy just to mark everyone you see, and the game rewards you for it. You actually get points. You get a mark assist if someone kills someone who you've marked. It stacks with your normal assist points, and I believe there's a medal you can earn
There is.
for marking enough people who get killed.
Interesting.
So I'll just kind of scroll through here
I'm a
quickly
heavy
so we
marker,
don't
right?
totally
Like in
get
PC
inundated
games
in
and stuff,
settings,
like,
but
I
it just
mark
goes
the
on
crap
and
out of
on
everything.
and on. So let me go
So
over here to
that's,
video as
that's good to
well.
hear.
Something else I just kind of
Good
want
on
to
you.
point out, which by the way, I do not. That is criminal for me
Crank
to be
it
on a FOV of only 70. But
True.
you know,
Crank
we
it up.
heard. I think this has always been something Halo fans have
110
wanted.
game,
We
110
know,
FOV
and everyone
game, where
knows
you
the
at?
FOV
110
really does have a
FOV, where you
dynamic
at?
impact on your experience in terms of
That's what
not
it's
only
about,
just your
baby.
vision, but the sensation of movement and speed. All those things are greatly impacted. So pretty awesome to
Bird
me that on
dog
day
display
one we already
monitor.
have a field of view slider, and this is going to be available on, I think, on multiple platforms. It's not a PC.
I'm gonna
only
give you
feature.
all the weapons,
correct, yeah.
Senpai. Don't give me your
I
weapons.
mean, what's your preference? I kind of generally like to kick it up here, maybe in the 90 to 100 range. I mean, we can go all
110.
the way up to 120 if you really
okay.
wanted to.
120 is pushing it.
Yeah,
for
I
me,
think
I
you like
find.
to kick it at
110.
95 to 100.
110
All right,
gang.
well,
gang, gang.
I'll split the difference. We'll go 95 there. But yeah, just kind of go through here. Lots of different nuanced
Desync.
graphical settings to really allow people to custom tailor based
field.
on their own personal
Sky
preferences.
quality.
What's most
All right.
important to
When I
them
play
on their
games,
PC
you know, I
hardware.
like everything to
If
be
I didn't mention that, if it's not
maxed
clear,
out
we are
except sky
playing on
quality.
PC here
I do
currently,
not
so,
like sky. I don't like the
you
sky
will
in
not
real
have
life.
the full breadth
I
of
want
all
the
these
sky
options
to
necessarily on
have
every
no
platform.
texture.
But clearly
I
for
want it
PC,
to be a black
it makes the most
hole.
sense. I thought this was pretty cool too, being able to sort of opt in or opt out of something that we call speed lines. So when you're sprinting in the game, we have some cool visual effects that help sort of really convey that sense of increased speed.
I don't know if
But
that
if I don't
doo-doo
like it, I
sound
can
is
just
coming
turn it
from
off.
my PC
Yeah, I think
or
the fact that we've got some
their
of the
PC.
settings that are tailored so that you can fully immerse
If it's
yourself,
me, stop
or
messaging
if
me
you're
on
looking for a
Xbox, 'cause I think
stripped-down
that's where it comes
experience,
from.
If you don't want that, you can turn it off.
Same thing
I
goes,
don't
of
think
course,
it's me.
lots of audio customization here. Want to make sure people are aware of like things like subtitles. You can turn those off and on if you
Or am I
want
just hearing
to.
things? Could be.
I did want to call this out as well. I know you and I were talking earlier about this, but just a little bit of a public service announcement for anyone playing this weekend in the tech preview. By default, currently in this build, your mic is just set to full open, full
blocked it
hot.
on
So
skyboxes.
some people might like that, some people may not. Personally, I was kind of caught by surprise when I was saying a bunch of stuff in the game, and I thought it was private. So I just wanted to pass my learnings on to you. so
open
no one
mic
gets
by
kind of
default.
caught maybe
Remember
in
this.
a
Y'all gonna be
precarious
yelling
situation there.
all the time.
So yeah, a lot
Mom,
of different
it's my
options
turn
here,
on the
including Spartan
Xbox.
Chatter. We'll hear a little bit more of that when we roll some more footage. And then the last thing I thought would be kind of cool to really point out, we've talked about this a little bit briefly in
FPS
some
counter,
of our vlogs, but
enemy
we
outlines
have
and
this new
colors.
system that we're calling Friend and
Salmon.
Foe, right?
Show
Which,
colors.
in order to really support and embrace our goals and our aspirations about
Not just you, like it's
leaning
happening
more
on-
into player expression,
They might know
having
what's
a
happening
lot
on,
more
like, the
cool
main
ways
stream.
to customize your own
nice to know if
Spartan
it
and
is
your
me.
own Spartan journey. It just didn't really work anymore to force everyone into
Show
a
color.
default red or blue model, right?
Right. And so by default, we have red and blue outlines, but for accessibility purposes, we know that various people can't
Cotton
see
candy.
in certain shades.
Cotton candy.
So we've got a
Bad
wide
guys
array
pink,
of colors.
good
that you can
guys
choose
blue,
for both enemies
like
and friends.
Vice City
and you can
style.
also customize
Vice City
folks in your fire
bubblegum.
team to be another unique color.
Enemy
Yeah,
pink, friendly
It
blue.
is really flexible, really cool.
That's
I
the
also
way.
personally being able
Hell
to
yeah.
sort of, if I want to go old school and display a full gamer tag above someone's head, I could do that. Also helps me sometimes when I'm personally just trying to register a friend from foe. And then, I should call this out. You'll see this in the UI menu here. The theater will not be included in the tech preview.
Event
so we won't have
timeline
that experience.
controls.
The theater is coming back
Parallax.
though. So, event timeline is a brand new feature. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but you could probably surmise what that might mean in the context of the theater.
Surmise.
And
Good
this is
word.
pretty crazy too. Weapon offsets. So people want to be able to move that stuff around, I guess.
Yeah. I know people who like to get a slightly
Yeah,
different
why
gameplay
would you be able to
experience. Some old
move
school
melee
games that have the
weapons like
weapon more
individually?
centered,
What's even the
or some
point?
people like to
But
just
when I have a
push it way
sword,
off,
I want it to be
or
like
so far off that
right
they
up
hit their
here.
mic. Sorry
I
about
want my
that.
sword to just
Yeah, I
come out
guess
of my
one of the
noggin.
predominant themes here is just trying to give players as many options as possible to really dial in the experience to suit their personal tastes, right?
Yeah, dude.
I mean,
enemies pink. I'm telling you.
it
I
is
feel like
just a set
yellow
of
is the same
menus,
thing,
but we're
Xander.
looking
Where like
forward
if you
to
made enemies
hearing
yellow,
what
they'd be like, "Is yellow
settings,
such a bright
things that
color?"
they can put together to
But pink
customize
is
it
as
to
well.
Exactly how they
I'm
want
I'm
to be.
unironically playing
Halo to
what I
be,
just
like,
said.
the comfiest chair in
Bubblegum.
your
If y'all
house.
don't play
I
bubblegum,
like that.
y'all out. Y'all
All
out.
right,
Get out.
so let's back out of the settings.
Mince
Something else
meat.
I think we want to point out to participants in the tech previews to keep an eye on this weekend. The news feed. Wow, this is like next gen news.
I'm gonna say, lads,
seriously.
I'm pretty sure this means
this is
there's
just
no
good to keep an eye on.
assassinations.
If you're
You know,
playing
we
the
would've
tech
seen it.
preview, we will probably use this to convey updates over the course of the flight, critical information. If the playlist experience
Critical.
evolves, we'll let people know through here, right? And I think, Sam, you wanted to specifically call this one out in particular, right?
Yeah, so
If you're
we've
using
got,
AMD.
Notification for people on PC, especially if you're using the
AMD GPU. Who's an
You're gonna
AMD
wanna make sure you
GPU?
update to the latest driver. It is a significant performance increase for PC users on AMD GPUs. So please make sure you do that, and make sure you check out the news for that kind of attention.
I love the
Awesome.
The
Well,
dude
Sam, I
standing
think
back
that's
there
all
is
I
so
got
cool.
for
I
you
wonder what they're gonna
today.
do with
Any
that.
final parting words or thoughts before we jump over and dig into some customization?
No, I want to see the customization
Customization.
too. Thanks for having me.
Cool. Thank you, Sam. We'll be right back in just a moment. We're going to be joined by Jerry Hook here, and we're going to talk about all the things you can do to customize your Spartan in the tech preview. Be right back in just a moment.
A new day is upon us. A new generation.
Bubblegum.
built
Y'all
to
let me know.
fight.
110 FOV.
Together,
Bubblegum
we are
colors.
unstoppable.
That's what's up.
Are you ready?
That's what's up. I'll have to use AMD GPUs. Prove it. I have an AMD CPU in my gaming PC. I love that shot. Oh, baby. Oh, yeah, I never even noticed until someone else pointed out. You see that gun? How it, like, he shot sideways and then he shot vertically? Like friggin' Dead Space? Sick. Can I get a sick in chat? Sick.
Hello, let's do some damage.
117 FOV. All right, fair enough.
Skewer acquired.
Because 110 gang. Customization will be as in-depth as Cyberpunk. If I can't customize my Spartan's junk,
Blame the enemy
just
flag.
codpiece size.
Return it to base. Ordnance drop inbound.
Sick. Dude, I'm excited to see customization. I hope they really dive deep. All I know, man, is I got those monster skins, those Monster Energy, like black and green skins. That's what I want, baby. Give me them green skins. Also, true or false? The Halo Infinite Oddball skull, best looking Halo skull.
Now,
Looks so
show
good.
me what you can do.
Like the blue flames, bruh. Shh. All right. This is our moment. Groin customization confirmed. If my character's junk doesn't clip through my clothes, like inside, I want my character to T-pose on top of vehicles. Oh,
And we're back. All right. Thanks, everyone. We are back now. This is our Halo Infinite Tech preview live stream here at 343 Industries in Redmond, Washington. My next guest has just sat down next to me. Please welcome Jerry Hook.
Jerry!
Jerry, head
We
of design.
love Jerry.
Welcome. How you doing?
I'm
We
doing
love
great.
Jerry.
Really looking
Chat,
forward
we
to
love
this.
Jerry, all right?
It's very exciting, and we're doing it live. Like
This is
could
live.
not be more nerve-wracking
Hey,
than
what?
doing it live.
Just, I probably have like 5 people watching. No pressure, no stress.
Not
I
a
mean,
big deal.
it's just between us, right?
Yeah,
We're just playing some Halo,
We got
talking about
300
Halo.
on
Yep.
my stream.
So
Sorry,
Jerry,
Jerry.
I think you're going to join us today. We're going to talk a little bit about sort of the player progression, customization side of the game, things that kind of fall under our live team umbrella. Kind of from your perspective through that lens, what are you and the team looking for? What are your kind of high level goals? What does this tech preview mean to you?
Yeah, well, first let's really talk about what a live game means to
Very
us.
good.
Like we have so much coming into Halo that we've never had before. We're on more platforms. We're on PC. We're
on
free to
Ouya.
play for the first time.
We're
so
on Game
that
Boy
means a lot.
Micro.
That has a lot of changes that go
We're
into
on
the
Zune
fundamentals.
HD.
And part of what I do as head of design is help ensure that everyone has their best work show up in the game. And the base fundamentals we use, we have some pillars that we're using to help make sure that our players get the best experience possible. And the first one of those pillars is player first. And you see that primarily represented in some of our attributes, specifically that, hey, look, the time and the money that you're investing in our title are extremely important. They're job one for us. That's why you see us move the
Jerry
battle
was
pass,
like, I forget his original
to
role.
allowing us to have that battle pass be switched, and then players.
I believe he left 343 for a while, and then came back.
That's a player first model. The other player first model that we're looking for is that our experiences we want to delight.
Good dude, though. I feel like I've known him forever. He's a just a wholesome guy.
As we move forward. The delight's pretty key there because we don't want to fall into some of the traps that you see with other free-to-play games where they just add chores or they just add things that aren't really delighting the player.
Unironically, Zune HD is still.
And so these mentalities change fundamentally what we're doing.
But mine's I don't know if it'll. Halo 3 ODST on the back. Look at that. This is like pretty much one of a kind.
We want to learn and we want to experiment with all of you as players. And this is critical. Like Sketch, you're such a critical piece of this, of listening to the community, and it's everyone out there right now is screaming about assassinations and screaming about Sprint and everything else that all the various community members, they want to have a voice in the hobby that they love. And we're hoping to bring that to you and, working with you and your team, Sketch and Uni, and as well as, when you look at Toshing, you look at our esports communities, all of them have voices that we want to make sure that we can hear and bring into our experiences. The next pillar off of that is the story doesn't end with Master Chief.
Not even Halo 3
The story is
Recon?
actually your story as well, and our story is going to grow even in the multiplayer side. And this is pretty critical when you take a look at what Tom French and the team have done with Academy and all the other stories that they're bringing to play. That's your story in our universe, and we want to make sure that you have a story that continues with you.
The story of Green Skull, the Spartan. One day he stubbed his toe
game development
on a log,
being burned out and
it was decommissioned.
And we want to make sure that our core pillar of we want to be able to build a sustainable and predictable game for all of you. And that's really critical.
Yes, I believe so.
If the team isn't there and the team isn't supporting all of the experiences we want to bring to you, then you won't have those experiences.
I play Halo
so we have
in my
to do
Tesla?
it in a very predictable fashion.
You can probably mod your Tesla. You just play like Game Pass in there.
Our players should be able to trust us that when we say, hey, we're going to go after, I've seen like the lists on Reddit and whatnot, right? And those lists are huge, right? And we obviously can't solve all of them on day one. In our launch, we're going to launch, and we know that
But can your Halo play Crisis?
You're not going to like from all of you, and we're going to need to correct some of those. And some of those you're like, hey, can you make it bigger? We want to go after those as well. So that's all pretty critical. And so in this tech preview, which isn't a beta, is we're testing the technical side of it. And so you're purchase everything.
Confirm Halo Infinite, not beta. Halo Infinite
preview,
Sigma.
Just go purchase everything. We need to test all of our services and connecting with our commerce engines.
I want pink and yellow
our
Spartan.
commerce services. And Joaquin and our service team are
still concerned about
they're on point. They're amazing.
Armor skins and the ability to be the colors you want. But we'll see.
But we will have some customization.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not a full customization that all of what will be in the launch product. But that customization is going to help at least help us understand what's important to you from the small subset that we're giving you to play with.
Dude, I want a Doom crossover so bad.
Speaking about my custom Spartans.
So badly, dude.
I did want to just clarify one point. You're talking about spend as much as you can, buy everything.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, everyone invited to this tech preview will be granted a bunch of credits. So we're not asking anyone to spend your real money. So in fact,
not at all.
We won't even take your money. There's no way to do that.
Yeah.
So, but we're going to give you our money and ask you to spend it and just go have fun.
Yeah.
So
Sketch is giving us
prices
money.
None of that is final. We're just trying to get some semblance of differences, so you as players would know what's better value, what's lower value.
Well, let's go back into the build here, Josh. I guess we'll go to my screen, if you will, and I'm going to go into the customize menu here at the top. Here I thought we might just kind of run through a few of these things, and then we'll kind of just navigate through the world of customization as it exists in this build, which, as you already noted, is just a subset of what we can expect.
And this is on Xbox One.
You can
definitely tell.
I think we'll just go down the list here. People are
are
probably very eager, I assume. They've never seen this. By the way, I do like
It
this
shows
idle
it's
animation.
working,
They let
baby.
it sit and it just kind of cycles through some really cool.
So I wonder why
sort of
they're
3D
showing
assets,
Xbox One and not.
which is
Yeah,
just,
the
it's nice.
cool, the other
You know,
cool
Series
thing is,
X,
like,
or
you just
maybe
pop
they're
in
just
the
trying to get people hope
customization.
that-
You already know we're doing a lot.
It's
more,
impressive
and,
that they can do
it's
that,
great
you know?
to hear Sam, and you notice some of the customization that's going on with bots, and in your own hand.
Oh, a Carmine helmet,
with,
bruh,
you know,
yeah.
With your
Carmine
AR,
must die.
That's all in the game for people to play with.
All right,
Presentation's
let's start
great
by
out. You
going
see
into
that?
Armor Hall, and then we're
Yeah.
just going to kind of quickly move through here, and then we'll kind of bounce around like you and I discussed. So Armor Hall, pretty self-explanatory. This is where I'm going to customize my Spartan's armor, right? So
Yeah.
Okay.
right away,
Rare
here we
armor
go.
core.
Now for this tech preview, because it's a subset, I'm going to have one armor core, and that's going to be my Mark 7 armor core. And you know, Jerry, you and I have discussed this a little bit. Just there's been a lot of questions, I think, in the community since we first started talking about armor cores, right? And we've demonstrated this and sort of showed it off in our old overview video and some prior blogs. So how would you sort of best describe, like, what is an armor core and sort of how should we
What
think
is it?
about that?
Yeah, so this is one of our new systems. So Christopher Blum and Jeremy have done a really great job here creating this system. You know, one of the things when we stepped back in design, we wanted to rethink how do we help make sure that our players are really represented as characters.
Oh, they do,
you
and they do
take a look
manufacture
at
again. I
Spartan
missed that.
armor,
I love
it's
manufacture.
like strapping on an F-22. Or maybe
Yo, guys,
you
if
want
we see a
set of
Lethbridge
armor that
Industrial
is like an M1 Abrams
armor
tank,
piece,
right?
I want
Each
y'all to
one of those
flip.
vehicles is unique
I want y'all to
and
flip.
has a unique character.
If we see a Lethbridge Industrial armor
The other
piece, you
great
be ready.
thing about that, the thing we're trying to build is we're trying to make sure that the character of that armor really comes through. There's really no better way to show this than, hey, Josh, you have one of the pictures, one of the concept pictures? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Woo!
So everyone saw at the end of that amazing multiplayer trailer the samurai armor.
Yo!
When we talk about strapping on a piece
the
of
whole
armor
bottom
as a
row
unique
here.
character, I think our first fracture core, and that's we call these fractures because they're not part of the main canon. They're part of basically side universes that you can look at. You can look at how we're trying to develop the character, and our artists have done an amazing job of really trying to represent the breadth of what we want to look at, maintaining the character throughout the entire armor set, and more importantly, allowing that customization and you as a player saying, hey, look, when I strap on that armor, you know, that samurai armor tank, I want to make sure that I can make it mine. And this is
what's
the
your favorite
breadth
here? I think
in
my
which we
favorite
can
is the bottom
really
left.
express, but stay within the character.
Having that
We
one,
don't want
like,
everyone
grenade
to feel
belt.
like they're just all one part of a single vehicle, basically. And so then you can look at what the artists have been able to think about, and you take a look at the attachments that you're seeing there. You're seeing swords. You're seeing, you know, a bandolier. You're seeing grenades. You're seeing different hip pieces. You're seeing daggers. You're seeing darts. You're seeing whole different expression of what a samurai could look like. And that's pretty critical for us to help, at least in this first impression and our first moments for everyone at launch. Because remember, at a live game
my
perspective,
summary of what
we
he
are
just said
expecting
is
everyone to
armor
provide
cores
feedback,
have a
what
theme,
works, what doesn't work,
so
so
that
we want to see more. And that's where
say,
the game
you know,
will
I assume in this
grow
case
as
it's
we
like
move forward.
samurai core,
This
and
is
so you
awesome, by
have
the way.
like
I'm super excited.
this,
by
right?
the,
Like the
your Roy
unlockables
samurai
for that are
particular,
all that,
by the
which
way,
also
we've
means though I
confirmed will
think
be,
that opens up some interesting
one of the
options because it could be,
first
for
three pieces of
instance,
content that
you know,
players can
Halo
earn in
CE
Season
armor
1
core, or
by
you know what I
just
mean, like Halo
completing
3
all
armor
three
core or
events.
something, and then it'd be like all
absolutely.
Halo 3
And
pieces,
again,
right? And like,
that
and
type
then you
of
can switch between
completion
those
where
cores. That's
just
what I
playing
got
the
from
game
that.
and earning things is still a part of not only our DNA, but again, from a free-to-play game, we want to make sure that we provide multiple avenues, not just the battle pass, but you have different ways, and we'll show that as we go forward, different ways in which you can earn things.
Yeah, right now I'm
need
just
more
kind of
face
cycling
cams.
through the
There's
weapon
two.
bench just to give,
Yeah.
give our viewers a sense of what that looks like. So, you know, if I were to equip
Doom guy
weapon
armor
coatings,
core.
I could check them out here. I'm just sort of scrolling through, giving people a chance to see some of the weapons
Hydra.
that we have in the game currently that they'll be able to check out. So I really
and
love this feature.
This is so sweet because every time you pick up a weapon, right, you take it off the weapon pad, it is your
pretty sick.
weapon. And it'll be skinned the way you want it to.
God, the PR looks good.
It'll look the way you want it to. It is just
Yeah, I think you're right
sweet,
there. There's
sweet,
Xander.
feeling.
Let's quickly jump into
Show us
vehicle
armor
bay.
customization,
one
though.
quick caveat here is
you
none
didn't
of the
really dive in.
experiences in this tech preview build will let you drive vehicles this time around, but of course vehicles are an integral part of our sandbox, huge part of the experience, especially with the return of big team battle.
Yeah.
So we're going to get to that a little bit later this year, but I'll just kind of give people a quick glimpse here of some of the updated
Yeah, even these
models,
show
some of
like
these
the
things we're seeing for the
manufacturer,
first
that
time, I
logo there.
believe.
Yeah,
Right?
and
That's kind
again,
of cool.
for the, what we're showing here from a customization perspective, you make this you. So you
Oh, the
get to say,
Razorback.
hey, look, no, when I drive my Warthog or when I get on my Razorback with my team, I'm the driver. I get into
Gun
it first.
use.
It's going to look the way that I want it to look like. And so as you continue to play in the community, you're going to have different looks from players. And
think the
everyone
Rocket
will
Hog's
know,
actually gonna be not crap
It is
for
you
once?
in the driver's seat.
All right, then I'm going to
controversial
jump down
opinion.
one more real quick here in the body and AI.
yeah.
This one, we obviously have a couple different body types I can choose from. I really love actually the depth that we've been able to go to now.
What are you guys doing for
prosthetics, right?
prosthesis?
Just an
Post-
additional layer of
prosthesis.
customization and frankly inclusivity as well.
Yeah,
wanna do, like,
I mean,
at
the
least
biggest
the
thing is
arm,
just about
like one of my arms.
From a philosophy perspective, for,
Right arm, maybe?
for player first, is we want everyone to be able to represent themselves.
Like one arm, one
My
leg.
sister actually does build prosthetics for a living, and this is very important. Is it's a part of your identity.
You
it's
just do
also,
hand
quite
only?
frankly, some of it's really cool. And again, we're only showing a very small subset, so don't get lost in that. But the sheer fact that you can do
Transtibial.
your entire body the way you want to from a prosthetic perspective and really make this your identity is
One
really,
Robohand Jedi
really
style,
critical for us.
yeah.
So personal AI is another new addition to the game. We introduced this.
Show.
People
Show
heard some personal AI in the MP trailer, for example.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people out there that became instant fans of Lumu, for example. And I think we'll talk more about this probably with Tom French in a bit, and we'll see.
Look at that.
in
That was
action in some
weird,
of our
dude.
additional
Triangle
footage.
boy.
But, this is just a subset, right?
I love
Yeah.
Pyramid Boy.
And it's also just the beginning. Like this is the biggest thing.
Right.
We have so many things in which you can really
Oh,
express
I love
yourself.
him. He's funny.
The way you want to, and even your AI sidekick, it's yours to express. Like it's yours to make yours. And I think the cool thing is that when you see Tom talk about it, and you see the modes you're going to use it in, it
we
really
must
becomes
protect.
a part of the
We must
personality
protect
that you bring
Pyramid
to
Boy.
the field.
Yeah, and each AI here, for example, has their own unique voice, their own unique personality. It's really fun, and then you can go one step further if you want to, and actually
Yep.
even a subset of colors as well. So
Yeah.
I don't
personal
like that
AI is
green.
one of my favorite additions to the game currently, and I can't wait for players to experience more of that. And then we have one more grayed out area
There you go.
here, and this
Announcer
is where I'd be
voice,
able to do
emblem,
stuff like my
service
tag and emblem, and I think you've alluded to there's more coming
There's
than
more
what's in
coming.
this build, so we want
Yeah.
people to stay tuned.
Anyone think this
now
looks
I think
like COD?
let's quickly. I want to keep things
No?
moving here because I know folks are eager. We got a lot to get through. How about you want to jump over to the battle pass?
Yeah, let's do that.
Maybe we'll switch. Josh, why don't we jump over to Jerry? He'll
Show
drive
pass.
us through, and let's just talk a little bit about what we're designating the Season 0 battle pass, and sort of what that's going to be for players in this technical preview.
Yeah, so when we take a look at ourselves learning as a
3 for 3
team,
Guilty Spark?
the reason why we want to do Season 0 is, like the rest of our live experience, our team needs to build the muscle of listening to the players, of providing fixes, really going through, even veteran people who've worked on games, game developers. When they go through a service, every game is different, every team is
want a
different.
Jerry Hook AI.
And it takes a lot of muscle building to really get into the rhythm for your teams to be able to add to the game. And so what we hope to hear from on the technical preview side is, again, what's working for you, what's not working for you, what don't you like. Remember, the build is old, so don't treat it as if it's final at all. So as we
Buck's
go
voice will
into
come back?
these
I hope so.
details, just remember,
that's a
just
triple.
send us your feedback. Give us the details that you want to see or improve on. And we won't, again, because we're a few
really hope there's armor
months from
effects?
launch, we won't necessarily be able to fix everything for launch, but
If they're
we'll start
subtle,
adding
maybe.
lists together. First thing I want to talk about from a battle pass
Your
perspective
challenges?
is our challenges. Our challenge system
Daily, weekly.
is the cornerstone. It is the underlying thing. in
complete
which
all
we go.
weekly
Now,
challenge to
everyone's
unlock
familiar
Stone
with
Green.
these. We've done a little bit different. This is where you start seeing the first rewards that you get outside of the pass. So we know, right? Games are a bit different today than they were back in the day. In fact, back in the day, most people only had 2 to 3 games a year that they even looked at. Today, I bet you most of your Steam libraries are much larger than that. And that means players are going from Sea of Thieves, or they're jumping over to Age of Empires, and then
Yeah,
they're
so if you
coming
get the
into
battle
Halo
pass,
as well.
you get
and we
an
want to
extra
make sure that
challenge.
when you sit down,
But it looks
you
like you
don't
can
have
still
to
unlock the
absorb
capstone
an
thing
entire
without
battle pass to say,
the
what
battle
are my
pass.
rewards? You can literally just come in,
They got a
what are the
swap
challenges?
over
I'm
there,
gonna
it looks
go play
like,
my
on the left
games
side of
with
these.
my friends, and I'm going to get
I
rewarded
don't know why I'm like
for it.
pointing. It's something you
That's
guys can
pretty
really
critical
see
for
what I'm
us
pointing
from a
at.
player first
look, I can do this.
perspective. And then, of course, you're going
Hey!
to get people like me. I'm going to
If you look
sometimes
here.
get sniper challenges. Now, I'm not Clutch in any way, shape, or form, or Mikwin or any other pro team. I will
There you go.
skip the
Oh, he's skipping.
that
Yeah,
challenge.
challenge
So I'll
swap.
definitely probably swap that for sure. And I'll want to make sure that I don't have to do that because I'm not good at it at all. So let's look at the battle pass. So we're going to buy this? Is that what we're going to do?
Yeah, we
He's buying the
granted
battle
you-
pass. Here we go.
You're just like a real tech preview
One
participant. We
action
have given you
pose.
some money, Jerry.
All right.
One
Good.
action
I get paid
pose.
today. Sweet.
Is that the
right.
intro pose?
Sweet.
Of like, you know when you start a
Got
match?
the pass. We're ready to go. So, as you can
Okay.
see, oh, I bought it, so now you can't see the free labels. Shoot. Oh, well.
Yeah, well, you're right. What we're not seeing is a smattering of objects in this pass are free, right? So
Correct.
even if someone doesn't want to opt into the optional pass in the real game, there will still be a free track and things to earn along the
Yeah,
way.
the main thing you think of
you
from,
get
from a model
more.
that we have is every tier there's a
wanna
free
go back.
item and a premium item, and that means that every single player
Yeah,
instead
I'm gonna
of
skip back to
having,
live in a second. Ready?
you know, most systems you have large swaths of to do that because I'm not good at it at all.
Sorry.
Did
come on,
you?
come on. Joe,
I don't
I can't find it.
sniper challenge. People, what are my routes? We want to swap that.
Damn it. I'm
We're
bad at
ready to
this.
go. So
I'm over it.
as you can see, oh, I bought. We're only having 20 levels in the preview to be able to go after. And so obviously
The
at
helmet's not
launch
bad.
we'll have much
It's like
larger.
Recon
We're not
with
going
a-
to talk
with a
about that
jaw.
too much, but the great thing you're seeing here is you're seeing customization. All
So some
along
of these
the
are
way.
free, and then you get the battle pass, and you can.
do you
There's
wanna
more
go
you can
to
unlock along the
yours?
way.
Yeah, we can.
And we'll-
Yeah, Josh, you want to jump back over to mine because I had some
Oh, he's gonna show it. Okay,
development
cool.
cheats enabled, so I've got everything already unlocked.
This comment section's
actually,
tons
Josh,
more
switch back
friendly.
over
It's because
to
you're here. Press
my
one
feed
if
there. There we
you
go.
love
So
loves.
now that we have that context, Jerry, of
Yeah.
kind of sort of where
Here we
this
go, here we go.
content's going to come
Remember, wait
from,
for it.
I'm
If
back
they
in
show
the
something that
armor
says
hall.
Leopard
I've just kind
Industrial,
of drilled now
y'all
into
better
this. This is what
lose
happens
it,
if I click
'cause
in
I'm
on
gonna-
my core, right? So.
Yeah.
This is. We don't need to go through all this. I know
Tattoo,
folks
baby.
are probably eager to see some more gameplay.
Tattoo.
We'll talk about bots and arena as well. But this is where I would apply my coatings, for
we go.
example. Some of these coatings I'm going to earn. We saw the Keystone coating as a challenge reward, for example. So this is just a taste of kind of what I'll be able to do. I can't wait to see how players in the tech preview. I would hope a lot of people are probably going to
these.
easily hit tier 20
Buy
and max
one.
out.
Yeah,
Buy
If
'em.
not,
that's our hope.
what are you
Make
doing?
your boy
You've had this
custom.
long to prepare. Like, come
Make-
on,
make
we've
a
waited
lab
for
for
this.
us.
We
Should
need
just
you.
be good.
Go crazy. But yes, this is just to give you
think
an
I, like,
idea.
click into
As
them
I
to probably see or
unlock my
something.
content for the core, this is where I'm going to go in and be able to customize that.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this to you the other day, but funny fact, someone pointed out to me that if you want to, I think for the first time in a Halo game, you can have no shoulder pads, which
Correct.
No.
hey, if that's your
Yeah,
if
look,
that's
no
your
shoulder
fancy,
pads.
go for it. So lots of different options here, and
Yeah, and this is like you're not seeing things in here like armor effects or
These knee
other
pads are boring.
categories that we have listed here.
Hands?
For the
I only got
tech
one hand.
preview, it's really small, and so we tried to keep it.
It looks so
basically the
weird without
baseline
shoulder
pieces.
pads.
Actually, let's talk about armor kit for a little bit. That's
yeah.
a
What is
brand new
because
concept.
I
Armor
don't think
kit,
this
oh,
is
yeah.
really
So
fully supported in this build, though.
yeah, so when we talk about specifically from a pillar perspective of continuing the story, the armor kit kind of represents a bunch of that story. And so when you see the season, and when we say story, we mean the continuing story of the universe from after you, when you're in campaign as Master Chief, what are the rest of the Spartans doing? You are a Spartan, and so your story belongs here too. But it's also a place in which you can show iconic characters within the Halo universe. And so a kit, for example, you might get, I don't know, George or Emil, and that is an entire kit unto itself. And
Yeah,
so
it's
you
like a
wanna,
full. It's
you
like a
actually
character.
Want to go
That's
fly
kind of
to,
cool.
You know, do your battles on the battlefield.
you can
like
at least- you
George,
should at least customize
that's
it.
where you would go to get that kit.
Well, Jerry, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
yeah, sorry, I
I
missed
think
that.
there's still
Armor
a ton of
effects
fun content
is,
here for
looks like it's a thing.
insiders this weekend to experiment with, unlock, explore. I do want to just reiterate as well, we've said this prior, but this is just a test, so nothing that people buy or unlock during this will carry over to the final game. We're going to wipe the slate clean. And as Jerry noted,
you guys ask me that all
looking
the
for your
time.
Feedback. We'll have information on Waypoint, by the way,
It's
as well
so
as in your flight
rare for that
invitation
to
let you
happen.
know where to go and how
things
to
you
get that
do in a
feedback.
test come over to the full
the team
game.
wanted me to also just give a shout out and let
It
people
like
know
never
that
happens.
a lot of polished work is still happening. So
Do I get
everything
to keep
from
my
how
unlocks?
things look
No,
and are
dude.
presented. We're not done yet, so I want to make sure we're giving credit to all the hard work that's still being done and will continue up until launch this holiday. Jerry, any final parting thoughts or words you want to leave to us before we
Show
jump
more
over
gameplay.
and bring Tom in?
No, I mean, enjoy your time. And
This whole thing's longer than I expected to be.
as
We're
you
at
said,
54
Sketch,
minutes? I mean, 44
this
because
is
I started
a few
early.
months old, and we have a long way to go from where we're at actually today and what you're seeing. But please go test.
I think
every
it
button,
looks like
play
assassinations are
everything
out
so that we can make
as
sure
far
that
as we
have
can
the
tell,
tech
Corey.
ready for you when we launch.
There's no button for them.
Awesome.
They didn't show
cool.
them.
Thanks again, Jerry.
Absolutely.
Happy to have you here. We're going to take in one more quick break. We're going to bring in Tom French and the multiplayer team. We're going to talk
Tom
about
French!
some bots. We're
We
going to
love
jump
Tom!
in, do a weapon drill or two, and talk about the Academy. And then we'll take a look at a match that we recorded on Xbox Series X. We'll
recorded
be
match.
back in just a moment.
Series X. Here we go. This one again? Yeah, dude. I love watching this again. All right.
A new
Yeah, it's not looking
generation
good
built to
for
fight.
assassination lovers.
Together, we are unstoppable. Are you ready?
They said assassinations, but there seems to be no. They said assassinations in the context of responding to community questions about things, which assassinations is a big one. They seem to be intentionally not talking about assassinations. So either it's going to be like a big surprise, or she ain't there. At least not yet. Wow. Assassinations always got me killed. I mean, there's a reason all the pros literally disable assassinations, because it's just, they get you killed.
Skewer acquired.
Yeah, it's funny, because like, I guess I just play differently than people, because like, it's like, yeah, assassinations to me have always been such a gimmick that like, I'm almost more frustrated with than not. Like, for the amount of people that love assassinations, maybe I'm just doing something wrong. I don't tend to turn them off. I'll say that. I usually leave assassinations on, but like I try not to use them unless it's a very specific instance.
The flag is
Assassinations were the best. It made the game fun for me. Like to me, that's a wild opinion. Like what?
at your earliest convenience.
The fact that I can make my Spartan green is what made Halo fun for me. I don't know. It's just, you know, I'm just clearly just missing something.
Now, show me what you can do.
Show gameplay. Epic campaign.
Okay, welcome back again after that brief break. This is still our Halo Infinite Tech Preview live stream here from Redmond, Washington. I'm Sketch. And now I want to welcome Tom French.
Tom French, we love
welcome,
Tom.
Associate Creative Director for Multiplayer. How are you?
It's wonderful to be in this room again. I've
What?
missed being in this space, so it's good to kind of just hang out. I kind of want to give you a big hug.
I
right
know,
now.
right?
It's wonderful.
It's the closest, this whole process, I haven't come this close to human beings in a long time,
Yeah,
it
it's a
feels
little
like.
weird. It's a little weird.
Well, it's good to have you here. I
Thanks,
feel like
sir.
this has been, this has literally been years in the making, safe to say.
Yes, that is.
Someone yell
very
at Tom
safe.
for. I mean,
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about
Sketch for hitting the
multiplayer, which is
table.
obviously sort of the key focus for the tech preview. So much like I've talked to Sam and Jerry about, thought we might just open up with kind of
Look, it's
giving you
really,
a chance
like,
to,
knocking
from your
the mic.
perspective and your team, how are you thinking about the tech preview? Kind of what are your goals? What would you like our audience to know from your side of things?
Yeah, I think Jerry and Sam kind of hit a lot of it on the head. Really, it's the focus isn't about like kind of fair, balanced arena starts. It's really about a tech preview. We need to get a lot of data. There's a lot of PC data we need to.
That's
do. Now
already
that
a
we're not,
thing,
like, just
right? Like, that's why like pros always turned off assassinations. It was already a
We
thing.
need to really strengthen up our back end before we launch this game. To really just make sure everything's strong for the fans.
Is Tom French actually
Yeah,
French?
and a lot of
That's
work
how it
obviously
works.
still happening. We've kind of covered that. Now, I think we've got a couple. I think safe to say we have sort of 2 signature content sort of buckets, features, if you will, of this tech preview, right? We've got an Academy experience, which I think we're going to talk about here first, and then we're going to move on to bots from that. So let's start by the Academy. We teased this a little bit. I think folks learned about it for the first time in our overview video last month. So from your perspective, what's the Academy all about? Where did it come from? What's the idea behind it?
I'm really proud of the Academy concept. Wake, when we started the journey to what was going to become Halo Infinite, we needed, I don't know if you know this, but when you go to play multiplayer, it's intimidating to a lot of people. And so we needed to kind of create a ramp for how players get there and kind of smooth that out along the way. And so we thought about, like, what are the obstacles that players have to do? And so the Academy is broken into like 3 core parts and then kind of a 4th extension to that. But the first part is a tutorial where we teach you the fundamentals of the game. We'll introduce you to the kind of the canon around the MP Spartan and what is the player Spartan's purpose.
Canon confirmed.
And then the next step after that, we have weapon
handheld
drills, which
cannon
we'll play with and talk about
confirmed,
today, which is cool. And those are really about kind of just giving you a chance to put your hands on a gun in very simple settings, really just kind of mono-focused, right? And just really focus on how that gun performs and learn. And there's different skill levels, which we'll get to see a little bit. And then the third part is the what we call the training mode, which lets you play arena matches, basically, or arena slayer inside of all of our arena maps. And lets you run around and you can configure the difficulty of the bots, you can configure your loadouts, you can configure...
It's going to be interesting. So, like,
there's just
a weird side effect of playing against bots is I think people are going to discover more than they ever would have, right? Because you'll be able to be, like, hide from the bots, you know what I mean? And just, like, experiment and, like, shoot walls and stuff and, like, run around in Academy. Like, people are really going to find stuff.
And you do that against bots before they...
Who's going to be the first to break the map?
Across the map.
Let's get out there. Let's break some maps.
Drills, which is the sort of the slice of the Academy that we're including in the tech preview today. I think we should jump into a weapon drill or two. I'm sure our viewers would love to check that out firsthand. I mean, Tom, if you're willing, I maybe put you on the spot here. I mean,
you can see how much
I can embarrass myself. I mean, you know what?
Why don't we trade off?
Why don't we each do it, right? So I'm happy to go first, Josh. If you want to jump back over to my POV here. I've already kind of jumped into the Academy menu. I'm presented with an option for weapon drills.
Yeah.
I did want to point out this is not the entirety of our sandbox, right?
This is what's in the flag.
Notice how they're all grayed out. Right? The colors of the weapons are all grayed out over there for some reason. It's like you have to complete them to make it colored or something.
I don't know what fans would be most interested in seeing. I'm going to guess they probably don't need to see an AR weapon drill, right? So let's do something a little more exotic. Now, this is, I might do this because this is one of my personal favorite new additions to the game.
Show Commando.
This thing is a beast.
It is a beast.
It sounds awesome. It feels
like
awesome. And real quick, Tom, how would you want
3 stars
viewers to
for each?
sort of, I got 3 options here for my weapon drill.
So there's 3 tiers of weapon drills, and the basic one is static bots, and they'll just stand there, kind of just let you get the hands on the gun, right? Shoot the basic targets, and it'll score you on your performance and kind of give you a grade so you understand how well you're using with that gun. The next tier, they're kind of on more just like kind of simple paths or crouching behind cover and things like that to kind of show you how to use the weapon, get you to move to that next tier of how do you track a target across the screen. And then the third tier is more, they actually are doing combat behaviors. They're not firing back at you, but they're running around and they're ducking and they're a lot less predictable. And so they're kind of harder to track. They're kind of using more of the actual bot behaviors and mentality. So
I guess I'll split the difference and go, I'll go like a tier 2 here, right?
Okay.
I mean, don't judge.
Tier 2, they move left and right.
A lot of pressure here. And I mean, safe to say there's been a lot of internal trash talking as well, right?
Yeah, we trash talk a lot, especially about scores. Like, I mean, we're a competitive team at our core, so that's what you have to do.
I really think Academy is a really neat idea.
Not only is this a learning module,
like it's been 5+ years since the last Halo. Like there are people there's going to be so many people who've never played Halo. You can just be like, learn what the heck a needler is, right?
Bring that gamification competitive element to this.
Yeah, that was something that we really wanted in the core design, and just it just didn't fit into the schedule. So we're just building the
cool. You go up, you take out the gun
for how we can add more over time.
Okay, here we go.
Take them out.
Not doing good. By the way, that's something our fans noticed right there. We have damage per sort of location-specific visual indicators on damage, right?
Yeah, it's really helpful, right? It really helps just that pop where
Don't miss.
Look at that. I choked right there. Now, are you a feather the trigger person with this weapon, or do you just sort of pray and spray?
I'll just be honest. I'm hot garbage with this gun. That's first and foremost my problem. I'm trying to get better with it. I kind of use it as like an automatic, but when I'm kind of at range, I'll switch to kind of.
So that was really short.
Oh man, my pillar.
It's a really short little test.
That was not a great performance. 2-star. I mean,
terrible.
I think there is a bonus for like a quick reaction, right? Like if I were to quickly zoom in on the target right when it appears, I think I might get an extra.
I think there's extra little bonus bonus points and little twists around it. So
All right, I want to put you on the spot now. We're
Okay.
going to switch over to your
There's
point of view.
definitely going to be a battle royale mode.
So first of all, okay,
Alright.
going for the
There's
controller,
definitely
right? Because we
not going
support
to be a
mouse and
battle royale
keyboard or
mode.
controller, doesn't
I'm
matter.
a controller guy.
Whatever suits your fancy. Tom, I am hearing from
Show Heatwave.
our friends over here in the room that it sounds like chat is
Show skewer.
unsurprisingly very interested in seeing the BR.
I think
that's
that's
fair.
expected. Let's bring up the BR then. Let's see how. I mean, I'm okay
I
with
do
this.
like where you're going with the more exotic weapons, though. So maybe we just kind of break the rules and squeeze in a third game.
We'll squeeze in another
okay.
one. I'll try to
see
go
Heatwave
the third
or
tier so
skewer.
people can see kind of the different behaviors. And so you see they were kind of more
Loom's back,
bouncing
yeah.
targets and what you were doing. So
Loom
you'll
is
see
back.
this. They should take a little more cover and stuff. But yeah, obviously a fan favorite weapon. I'm really nervous how well I'm going to score.
I assume not like Reach. Like Bloom, people forget
Well,
kind
at
of
least we're picking
exists.
different weapons, so we're not really like we can't really compare each other against.
It's a lot of that
against each
stuff. It was
other,
all about
right?
like Reach made it so visible.
Yeah, people are already making fun of me in the stream. I can see it. Or imagine at least. I'm really terrible about managing my reloads. I'm like an incessant reloader.
Yep.
See,
I'm the same. I
probably shouldn't
reload
have
like
reloaded
every
right
shot.
there.
Well, it's when we're missing shots like you and I do, it makes it a little hard to be predictable on that reload.
I know.
too,
I
right?
really feel like it's part of my job to get better at this, and I'm trying, and I am getting better. I'm a little more better at like BTB is kind of my brag. But you can see they're kind of dancing around a little bit. They're strafing more. They're not just bounce patterns.
I mean, the BR seems good.
I'm hitting headshots at least.
Yeah. You almost got this.
Reload.
He hasn't been like consistent
Thumbs up.
enough to get the
I think
real
that's a pretty good
feel
score.
of
Well,
like.
it's a new high score compared to whoever else played on this
I
build.
think nobody. So all right.
Yeah.
So I
It
hit
looks like a
tier
BR,
two,
you
so
know.
rank 2. So yeah. So
That
you can
looks
see
legit.
like we're trying to kind of give you some grading so you can understand your skill level and like how you can get better. Or,
Show
you know, a little
Heatwave.
bit, like, kind of
Heatwave or
encouraging you to get
skewer.
better, so you can understand where you're
Sending
where
my
you're
energy.
All right, I
Heat wave
think-
or skewer.
I think we're getting the request. Let's
Heat
maybe
wave or
take at least
skewer.
one more.
Heat
you want to
wave
play
or
one more since
skewer.
you're already in? Why don't you do
I mean,
it? I'll put you on the
okay,
spot.
I'll do it.
Sending
So
energy.
I'm hearing that there's a lot of interest in the heat wave. This
All
is I don't think we've really seen or shown this really to date. So this
Okay.
is obviously new and exciting. A little bit unconventional, right? A little bit different.
Yeah, it's
did it.
different.
We
I
sent
mean, it
our
has an
energy.
alt fire, which is cool. It's something that's kind of new to Halo. I know Quinn and his team was really proud of that. And kind of how do we
love
introducing
alt
this
fire.
kind of concept into the game, and how can we can use this kind of more in the game. This weapon's really fun, and the two alt modes or the two modes are basically vertical and horizontal fire.
Yeah, check it out.
I can't remember how this drill performs. So see, one of the things cool about the drills is a lot of they're trying to do behaviors that actually
Look how
encourage
much
you
bounces,
to
dude.
use the
Oh,
weapon
look at that. Yeah,
correctly.
look, he switched it.
So like those
He switched it, like-
were bouncing.
It looks
near
like
each other,
vertical
and so
is the
you can
way to
get a more
go
optimal,
if
like,
they're
kind of
close,
horizontal shot.
right? You
And
saw
I
when he's
know
close, he
folks
switched to
notice it's
vertical, and
pretty
it just
nuanced there,
popped
but
up because
I
it
think
hits
you're
him with
using your
like
left
all
trigger
the
to sort
things.
of
Look,
swap between those two
that's
different
the two
sick.
modes, right?
And they're
Yeah.
more condensed in vertical too.
Together, boys.
So like I feel like
And this will penetrate,
horizontal
right?
for
So you
distance.
can line guys up and just take them all.
Oh,
Very
the
cool.
Last shot sucked. There we go. Oh,
And yeah, check that out. That's cool.
I'm definitely not managing my reload.
That's
I feel like
cool.
I have more time in the game, right? Like when you're in a match, you like hide behind cover. But this is definitely that like kind of stressful, which is in a good way. Like it helps you get better by going
Graphics
through the
looking bland
repetitions
so
and the
far. I
drills.
disagree.
Well, the
I
world
think this is
watching
looking
doesn't
great.
probably
Yeah, it
we
doesn't
aren't seeing
help.
it on the Xbox One. So it's
more
old
nervous
hardware
about
for
you
one,
just giving me
but
shit
also
after.
like that's the
we're
trade-off of
fine.
going with a
all right,
simplistic
we ran
Halo
the
classic
ESRB.
style,
Oh,
right?
we're
That,
good.
like,
Oh, that's
We're
good.
there are going to be people who
May-
think
may-
it
can't help
doesn't
it.
look
I'm-
good.
Content may not be
because
suitable
it's-
for
they're
all
not going
audiences.
hyper
Look at
realism.
you,
I
man.
did all
You're
right. I did all
sandbagging us here.
I think it looks awesome.
Three-star,
I think
you're
it
a
looks
master.
pretty dang
So
Maybe
that's
we
the
haven't
heat
seen
wave.
those scores yet, so maybe
We're
we
not going to
can
go
compare.
through every weapon drill, but you know when the tech build goes out tomorrow, the weapon drills will be available right away. So you folks
Yeah.
that are in the flight can play to their heart's content all weekend long. We encourage you to do
Are they
that.
going to give us a
and
time?
I
They
want
haven't
to
set a
see
time
people
yet, have
kinda
they?
see if you can beat Tom's score.
I will
There
be
you go.
going
Let's throw the
live.
gauntlet out.
Yeah,
See-
please. I mean, please be
When
my
that
score.
happens.
If you don't, I'll be disappointed.
So, Tom, obviously, you know, we talk a little bit about
Horizontal
bots
for
as
close?
it
No
relates
way.
to the Academy
No,
experience that
disagree.
we just saw here, but bots is kind of the other signature experience as part of the tech preview. So, before we get into the specifics, bots are brand new to Halo. Like, what do you want the world to know about bots? What's cool about them? Why are you excited about them?
I'm really excited about bots because, again, like playing multiplayer in Halo is a scary thing, and so it gives players like we have this kind of notion of safe and being able to play safe and offline. And
There's
the
no
training
Tom
mode and
French
things like
worked
that.
on
And so,
Fallout 2?
Having bots to really reflect
think it was
kind of
Fallout
player
2, fun
behaviors
fact.
is a big goal of ours. And so actually, our bots don't cheat. I'm really proud of the work our bots team has done. They really are emulating player behaviors. They're doing things like watching the motion tracker. They're listening for footsteps.
I am sure.
They'll,
Yeah, they're showing
create an
OG
area to
Xbox
get
One.
into the better bots and things like that.
They said
so
they're showing
actually are
Series
kind of
X
reflecting
next. The
player
Series X is
behaviors back
pre-recorded.
into the
All the
game.
live
So
stuff is
even
on an original
if you're
Xbox.
a learning player, you can kind
Xbox
of,
One.
it did that.
Original
That's something
Xbox
I
One.
can learn as a tool. But again, really just giving players safe place to experiment and learn and warm up. Like we found out, the community was like, when we first started talking about, they're like, oh, I can warm up before a match and stuff like that, and that was absolutely part of the intent. And we see we do it actually internally.
Oh, was that PC they're playing on there?
So. Yeah, they are. They're no slouches either. I can say. I mean, let's talk about that for a minute. We mentioned this a little bit in our blog last week, but my understanding is
right, like when you're in a match, like
I'm seeing the set down here.
This is definitely that like kind of stressful.
Second lowest skill level bots to start with, right?
Yeah, we have in the game we'll have 4 different tiers of bots. There's
also
recruit,
to Alex's point, you guys are watching a stream of a stream,
and like we're gonna start with the Marine level, which is basically kind of like a silver level player, and then we have the ODST, which are more like a gold, and then
Spartan.
The Spartan is I'm losing my words right now, but they are obviously the higher difficulty level. But we're trying to get like really just. They're the plat level player. Duh. I don't know why I'm thinking of.
Yeah, if you guys haven't got your invites, I haven't found them. Check your promotions tab if you use Gmail.
So you can see the different kind of how players perform against them. We know they're not gonna like, they're not shotsy. They're not gonna like just dong on you like immediately. Even when we get to our highest level, they really are a warm up and a learning tool inside of the game.
Yeah, the settings menu shows.
My understanding is too that
keyboard, mouse, and controller, no matter the platform it looks like.
Data and sort of feedback on each of those sort of bot. You just mentioned the bot sort of skill levels. So if, for example, we get enough engagement and the collective community slays enough bots after we go live on Thursday, my understanding is, okay, cool, you guys have passed phase 1 now, right? So then we're going to kick off and escalate and sort of raise the difficulty up and introduce the ODST bots. So our hope and expectation is that everyone out there is playing so much, we're getting all the data that we need, and we're just going to keep ratcheting it up with the goal of, let's hope by Sunday we've got Spartan bots out there, and we'll really see how some players can stack up to that. And I believe we're also going to kind of gradually introduce maps in a similar fashion.
Ooh.
So the big message there, I think, for tech.
Oh God, I'm going to play so many games,
we need you to play a lot and come back every day, because we're going to try to keep that experience evolving and keep it fresh.
Yeah, you're right, Luke. The settings
I
were
also
on
want
PC.
to shout out that we're going to be keeping an eye on our stats on the back end and looking to do a little celebratory shout outs on the Halo Twitter account.
I played Splitgate when
we're
it first
going to be
came
looking
out.
for which player has slayed the most bots, who's won the most games, and also I think kind of interesting, which team has been able to get 50 slays and win their game against bots the fastest. And what's really cool in a twist here, we're going to track all that. We'll shout you out on our social channels. But
we're going to win,
when
guys.
this game launches this holiday, we're going to capture your gamer tags now and be able to grant. You'll be the first ever recipients of one of our sort of exclusive emblems, nameplates rather, for the Fire Unicorn, which has been sort of something that we've had.
Fire Unicorn nameplate's coming back. All right, guys, we got to do this.
Well. So
yo, I'm forming a squad. You guys ready? I'm not messing around.
Now a little bit.
I'm not messing
so
around.
Bragging rights, high stakes, slay a lot of bots, play a lot, but don't
the
slouch.
Fastest game
these
wins.
Bots mean business, especially by the time we get to Sunday. So Tom, the last thing I kind of wanted to switch into as well. Speaking of evolving the experience,
ODST
we're thinking about
middle.
possibly turning
Marine
on
ODST Spartan?
Classic Slayer Arena, I believe, as well.
Yo, we're
yeah.
gonna
So, I mean, I think the intent is we're
hard.
gonna start with live fire with the map, which is one of our arena maps, and then we'll go into recharge, or we'll add recharge, and then we'll add Bazaar, which is set in Mombasa. Actually, I really want people, especially our fans, to really look around that map. There's some kind of nerdy lore things in there that are super cool.
I like.
But yeah, then at the end, the intent is at the very end we'll we can unlock basically a chance to play some 4v4.
Love you, man. Been watching you for like 10 years since the
match
Halo
at
4 wrap. You may keep up the good work, man. Love you. Can't wait to watch you play this. Thank you, SM Insane. I appreciate it, man. You didn't have to do that.
So it depends on obviously matchmaking and population times at that
Thank you.
point. But yeah, so it should balance out. Again, it's not.
I don't have any like notifications on stream for that, but yeah.
Competitive.
We'll work on that.
But it will give players at least a first
this
chance.
This all came within the past like 30 minutes. Like, I mean, the 30 minutes before I started the stream, I'm like, I should really stream
I
this.
just kind of wanted to reemphasize, like, our number one priority is the bot experience.
It's been too long, guys.
And it's getting all the data that involves, because I don't think we mentioned this, but even just from the dedicated server perspective, a bot match kind of taxes the servers and uses resources differently than a traditional PvP match, right? So
don't forget, guys, I'm going to be going live again tomorrow.
Yeah, the bots are
playing,
actually,
so
I mean, they're running on the servers, and so they're actually putting weight on the servers. And then, it literally, because it's 4v4, 4 players versus 4 bots, you're kind of you're going to spin up twice as many servers, and so kind of testing scale and
Yeah.
stuff like that at that
So
time as well.
as long as we hit these gates and sort of checkpoints over the course of each day, we could have quite a bit of fun here at the end of Sunday night. But I did want to reiterate what Tom pointed out. We are aware the experience does have some rough edges. But, you know, as long as you're willing to sort of put up with that, we'd love to jump in and be able to have that fun with you.
Not gonna
as
play
well.
anymore.
So, Tom, I think the last thing that we have, we're going to jump into
rough
here in a
edges.
minute, is our. We have one more gameplay footage. We have a full match we recorded. Before we do that, though, I have a couple of the things I think I just want to rattle off. One, split screen comes up a lot. It's a big part of the Halo multiplayer
gonna be a no.
experience.
It's gonna be a no.
I did just want to call out that that is not supported in the tech preview. It is still something that, you know, is important to multiplayer for launch, obviously, but in the tech preview, it's not will not be supported. So I think honestly, I believe you could even split screen in with your buddy on your couch, but then you can't load into the playlist together. So I just wanted to call that out in case folks get stuck in that situation. Something else that I just thought while you're here we could just chat about. I could ask you. Folks started asking this question as we showed off some of our MP content last month, and they're obviously going to sort of get the experience firsthand starting tomorrow, and that's about assassinations.
Oh, here it is.
We saw a couple moments in the trailer where we saw some clutch back smacks that probably would have been an assassination. So, you know, folks have asked us, are they in, are they out, what's going on with assassinations? So what's the scoop there?
So they're not in for launch, and I think we're just going to be straight about that, right? Like,
No assassinations
we actually really
at launch.
love assassinations, and I remember being at an HCS tournament with Quinn Del Hoyo, our sandbox lead, right when I took my gig, and we were watching a match, and somebody went to backsmack somebody, and they had assassinations enabled on accident because they turned them off, right? And they got this amazing assassination. It was a super hype moment in the crowd. But, you know, what happens at a lot of levels is people just turn them off because, you know, there's a gameplay disadvantage of it. And so one of the things we really wanted to do is take a step back and how do we think about how do these fit into infinite gameplay loops? And so one of the things that Quinn and I keep talking about is like when we bring them back, we want them to be back and fit right into our sandbox and the loops of the game and bring them back in a way that really just feels meaningful so they're always an accessible
So it sounds
tool,
like they are coming.
but also kind of a flourish moment that people have.
Yeah, so, you know, we
Should make the
talked about this a
assassination
lot.
update.
Launch is only the beginning. Jerry alluded to kind of what it means to be a live service and those opportunities that it brings. This is a perfect example of something that I know is already on the team's radar, and I can't wait to. It's something to look forward to, and I can't wait to see how bots evolve and eventually, assassinations
Well,
evolve.
bots will evolve.
Bots will evolve too, right? No, you're right. Getting assassinated by a recruit bot
Yeah.
would be I think you have to resign at that point if that were to
I
happen.
think we
right?
delete your profile at that point.
So I think one more thing we want to show today, you know, I know people have still been clamoring for like, we just want to see a full
pretty
match. Just
expected.
show us a match end
Yes.
to end. So we have that here today. We're going to do that right now. Just to kind of tee this up, I believe this was recorded last week or so. This is Xbox Series X gameplay just
Hell yeah.
directly out of the console. These are not bots in
No,
play.
they
This
said
is a
they have
4v4
BTB. They're not taking away
Slayer
BTB. What do you mean?
on Live Fire.
Yep.
I think a few members of our pro team mixed in with a couple members of the studio at large. You know, kind of to your point, right now for this focus, we're not trying to sort of say telegraph this is the competitive side of our game.
Exactly.
So this is about social, it's about fun, it's about learning and kind of evolving. So no one should read too much into that, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is not your BR starts really curated level. This is kind of more what like we call internally like our pub experience or our non-ranked experience. And so this is more of the quick play option that people will be seeing.
Well, let's roll that, Josh, if you got it ready. And, you know, Tom, if you want to we can kind of provide some commentary
Okay.
along the way. We're not going to try to cast this or anything. I'm sure folks are just eager to soak it in.
I
but
get Bravo to yell at me later if I did
it's
that.
about 7 to 8 minutes, I think, end to end.
8
But this is a
minutes.
full match of 4v4 Slayer, Halo Infinite, in our tech preview, essentially a version of this build on Livefire. So, Josh, go ahead and roll that when you're ready.
Slay them all, Spartan.
All right, yeah, I think this is a pro team.
Xbox Series X.
Well, let's see how good they are.
Give me some heat wave. Give me some heat waves.
Right off the bat, going for
So
the
he's
heat
got the
wave.
heat wave, right?
Yep.
This dude's waiting for active
Switch to
camos.
vert.
Oh, dude, it's got the shield.
There's
Steitzer.
Stites. It's good to have Steitzer back, or we call it. There's some nickname of Stitesy is kind of the people implementing the VO. They threw down a shield, covered the position.
Yeah, I like that
Oh,
little
no,
peek
skewer.
technique. I haven't
Oh,
personally
no.
done that, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like I learned a lot.
Oh,
from
come on, no,
watching
skewer him.
them.
Skewer him.
Actually.
You're going to lose the skewer.
Like we watch them, we have regular weekly play tests with them. I don't play with them
Oh,
generally because
choke!
they're so good, and we put our
No,
kind of better
my
players
dude.
up against them.
You hate to see it,
Also
dude.
noticed that
You
play
hate to
straight
see it.
for the power weapon
that was
that
good.
spawns on this map in Slayer, which is
Oh, needler. Can't.
hard for me to use, if I'm being honest.
So you'll see, like, I mean, so you can see the friend foe.
Oh, he's
That's one of
done.
the obvious things you're looking at here. I know Sam was talking about it earlier. This is something that we've continued to kind of iterate and evolve, even beyond this build. I think this might be.
I think that was the AI talking there, that like female voice.
There's power weapon spawns there.
Skewer is it's satisfying as heck, but it's hard for me to use.
I am worse at that gun than I am at the commando rifle for sure.
This is
And when you
looking
hit a
good, guys. I
target,
don't know about
especially a
you,
vehicle,
but like
it's
this
super
looks like
satisfying.
Halo. This looks like Halo.
Spectating.
Like the pacing, right? Like it's you're spending the time, you're picking up weapons, you're getting into combat, you have the dance, you do it all again. This looks good.
Tried for it.
Tried for it.
Grenade. Successful.
Hard for us to hear in studio, but I believe you'll hear some personal AI coming through.
Yeah, I wanted to go
There's
for the
a
noob
few things.
combo.
So there's the Spartan chatter that we had in Halo 5. It really just kind of brings the battlefield, gives a lot more like
This dude,
reaction.
what dude? He had no
That's going
shield.
on
Why are
again,
you
but you'll hear
climbing
this
that?
personal
You knew
AI, and
everybody
what we
was
did
up
with them
there.
is we replaced what was called Spartan leader or team leader. And it's just a more personal version of that, and they have a lot of personality.
This looks
so
good.
It lets you kind of swap around and
Oh yeah,
kind
see,
of
look, this dude's
customize
active
that
camo at
feedback, and
turbine.
they
This
give you
dude
a lot
pinged
of
it. It was like on the bottom, like on the left on the.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention
came in the
that's
kill feed?
a change, right? It doesn't activate on pickup anymore. You can hold on to it.
Yeah, we think that'll bring a lot in the long term and allow us to do more things with power-ups than kind of just
Oh, no.
traditional
Oh,
kind of just
son.
quick stat kind of reflections, but having like really the notion of power equipment in the game.
One thing that we won't see from in this point of view, I really love the visual language that you and the team have introduced. It's very obvious when someone's pocketing a power-up like that. You'll see a glowing trail
Yeah, there's
behind
like a
them.
contrail behind them. Yeah, that was a big thing, is making sure we at least telegraph that information. That was
Yes, you-
making that.
You hear
switch
that?
to
That's
a lot of
important. That's important to
critical
know.
lenses
So
on
someone
making
has
sure
an
that there was at least
overshield.
the readability
There will
to
be a
it.
trail behind them, so you know
So
they're
now it's
holding
sort of
on
that
to it.
risk
Because if you guys
reward,
didn't
right?
catch,
Do
you
I
can do
hold
that
this
now.
and
You don't
wait
have to like
for the
pop it
final
right
push?
away.
Do I
You can hold
burn
on
it
to
now
it.
so I don't
So it
lose
sounds like
it?
they have like a
Yeah,
trail
you make a lot
behind
of
them when they're
choices that way.
running.
Like I sometimes
So you know,
will
like, this dude's
pocket it
got
and think
one.
I'm getting cocky, and then I'll lose it.
Yeah,
and I'll give overshot
the
over
skewer. Love to see
I'll
it, dude.
give the OS to the
Ah,
enemy, which is
hate
super
to see
risky
it.
at that point.
Hate to see it.
We're seeing a couple of little sort of, what do we call those, tutorial tips popping up there, which
Yeah.
you can turn off in the settings.
Yeah, you can
right?
turn them off, but on the
me
their
some
death
burr.
tips is what we call them. But
me
yeah,
some
giving
burr.
a little bit of feedback, about the type of weapon that killed you, or like
Ooh, that was
how
a
you
good throw.
can respond better to it.
You see that? He threw the hole of the shield. That was all right.
I'm not
Respect.
sure at this point the pro team needs to know that, like, hey,
Yeah, exactly. Or like just opt out if you don't really care about it, if you don't need that information, or it makes you feel bad, as some people might feel.
The pacing here seems on point. I don't know about you guys, but this feels
I do
like
love this map.
they nailed
Yeah,
the
the
pacing here.
pelicans flying by. It's it's an homage to Sergeant Johnson, Sergeant Avery Johnson Academy of. So it's kind of cool just to kind of pay homage to one of ours and everybody's favorite character. In the
Decent range on the
Halo
AR.
kingdom.
By the way, whoever this player is just getting active camo every spawn. I don't know what the
Yeah,
other
look,
team's
he
up
held
to
the
right
active
now.
camo
Seems to
until
be,
that point.
Watching that call out. Yeah, the power ups we treat those like the power weapons and stuff. They're up on a pad. They have a lot of messaging and broadcasting.
AR
about
seems
them, so
totally
you know they're
viable.
Coming up.
So I've always been
tell you
very
that, right?
for
Yeah,
that
Spartan AI
idea.
calls it out
Is
as
making
well. There's a
it's
lot
a
of
noob weapon,
information
right?
that's
But
kind of
like,
driving
there's an
feedback.
entire subset of players, especially new players, that you can't just put a BR in their hands. They're gonna get slaughtered. I've
see, like,
always
how
been a
there's the weapon
big
apparatus
advocate for making the
machine
AR
levels as
viable
well,
for that
the
case. That you can play with the AR and it's still fun. So you can play like super social
Yeah,
You
playlists.
see in the background. right?
Noobs can play
What's cool
super
about them
social
is, like,
playlists.
before you might run past a
I am a
weapon
fan
and spawn,
of
and
that.
then
I
not
think that's
realize
good.
that it's coming up in 2 seconds, and it could change your choice and like how you deal with it. Like when we playtested this morning, I actually stopped at one point on a weapon rack because I was like, oh, it's like 2 seconds out. I might as well wait for it and switch out my pistol, which I think I'm just telling everybody that I'm really bad with a lot of the guns in our game.
Watch my back.
Did you see that? A Spartan like just passed through him. That's kind of weird.
That was nice.
Oh, this dude challenging is a mistake.
I do love the sidekick.
Triple, triple.
It's really cool, and like when somebody's
Ah!
really good with it, it's really threatening because they can just feather that thing super fast and just crack
This
people.
player really likes this little like drop wall.
The shield
kinda-
door hole.
Yeah, covering
It's
it
kind of
close,
cool.
yeah. And, like kind of locking down an entryway so they can watch their backs. It's neat to watch how people use these, like all the different equipments in different ways.
Spike obtained.
Well, hopefully a lot of
Spike,
players this
obtained.
weekend are going to be lighting this up on
I hope
social.
Pyramid
sharing
Guy's
clips of
cool.
us, 'cause I can't
I love
wait
his
to
stupid
see
little
some of the
face.
new creative ways that the community at large
Yeah, the
figures out how
ARs.
to use this new sandbox.
Yeah, and it's interesting
Holy
too. Like, I mean, like
moly!
the way we have our maps.
He got a
tuned, like, in
perfect
our
there,
main
but did
build
that
is they have
ever
different equipment and
melt?
stuff on
Oh,
them
Skewer, don't
because
miss,
we
buddy.
have the
Don't
entire
choke on
sandbox
us.
and the flights,
Oh, he's
we
gonna choke.
swap
He's gonna
things
choke.
out. So it's
Oh,
actually
he
not even the
choked!
same kind of
Oh,
basically map
Dios
placement
mio.
path that we would have in the released version of the game. But we, you know, it just at least gives us something so we can get something in there for people to play with. Oh, match is getting close. You can hear the music starting to kick up, kind of signifying the end of the match is coming.
I do love that. The multiplayer music, very cool.
I'm really proud of the multiplayer music. There's a cool story about how we got to basically getting the music in the game. But it really meets this tone. It's something I've really wanted since Halo 4. Was this kind of post-rock soundtrack to the multiplayer. Well, actually just a Halo, but it became one of my goals for multiplayer.
Hate to see it. This looks good. We're witnessing a full match of Halo Infinite right now. Like this is
Last kill.
the real deal.
Lost a teammate.
Cool.
Huh.
In my sights.
Halo's got some drama.
It
Oh,
is.
they got
There
it.
we go.
Somebody else got it.
There we
They
go.
seem to not show the
Yeah, that
picture
was
or the
actually
victory
me
screen.
playing.
Oh,
That's my-
nicely
since we
done.
won.
Nicely done. I'm proud.
Hey, so I'm happy that we were able to show that today. Not only kind of our first time
That looks
showing the
good.
game on
What do you guys
Xbox
think?
Series X,
Yeah, let me
but
know. Let me
we
know
the
how you feel
community's
about
just
that,
been-
'cause that
just
felt
show
like-
us a full match end to
At
end.
no
So
point
happy we were
watching
able
that
to
was
do
I
that.
like,
You'll be able to see a
this
lot more of
isn't
that,
Halo.
obviously,
Where's my
firsthand this
Halo?
weekend.
That looks
And I think safe to say, once we
like
get a little
Halo,
further down, and
baby,
we're ready
like-
to talk more about the competitive
like
side, some of the
Halo
ranked
3
settings,
mostly to me is what
we know
that felt
people are
like. Like it felt
probably
very
eager to see,
Halo 3.
I would love to see a true 4v4
or like
pro team
somewhere
match.
between Halo
We'll
3
bring
and
that
4
later.
or something. I
Tom,
don't know.
any kind of final words or parting thoughts you'd like to share before we wrap this up today?
I mean, mainly I'm just really excited to finally get to put
just
this
look
game in
good.
people's hands. And even though it's just a tech preview, you get to at least touch the game. You get to run around. You get to experiment with the sandbox. You get to help us, you know, be part of our team in a way. And then, you know, just help us kind of keep building towards the next.
I would
fight
like
we
to
get win.
play very much.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. We're super excited. I'll be playing all weekend as well. We'll be online playing, watching. Just wanted to go through a couple quick things right after this broadcast is over. If you want to head to HaloWaypoint.com, we have an updated blog that'll go out that'll kind of recap the official play times that we recommend for the flight
Well, tell us when it
experience for people
starts.
involved.
That's what I
You
wanna
can take
know.
a close look at some of our known
hope they will.
issues and just kind of get a better sense of what you can expect this weekend. Also, just wanted to mention that we're also going to be flighting our next version of Halo Waypoint. So on app and web, we call it Waypoint V Next here internally. That actually will be included in this tech preview.
Cool.
Really cool work happening there to help really extend my in-game experience out beyond the game to web and app. You can sort
Halo
of experiment
Reach
with
vibes
your
for you, okay.
customization challenges.
I don't get Reach
That
vibes from it,
functionality will be
but
working during the
I also
flight.
see
Encourage
Reach as
folks
such
to
a
check that out as well.
standout different
And as a
Halo.
reminder, if you want to be a part of this and an opportunity to play future tech previews and flights of this nature, head to HaloInsider.com. Sign up. Please make sure your profile is complete. That includes, we need you to verify your email, and we need you to make sure you pick which platform you want to flight on, one or both. And if it's PC, we also need you to upload a DX to AG file. All the information you need and all the steps are clearly outlined. Just go to HaloInsider.com, because next time we're going to go bigger. We need even more people. We got to go larger scale because we still have a couple of steps to go between now and launch this holiday. And
Yeah,
lastly,
make sure you guys sign
just
up
want
for
to
that,
say
lad.
thank you to everyone. Clearly, the community, we really appreciate your feedback, your passion through the years. We know you've been eagerly awaiting this moment as much as we have. The Insider Group in particular, huge part of our MCC project to bring that game, update it, improve it, bring it over to PC. That wouldn't have
Feels like
happened
Halo
without
3
the
and
Halo
5
Insider
blended together?
feedback and fighting
maybe.
program. And we can't wait to bring
I
that
don't know.
same
The
passion
movement-
and that
I feel like
same
Halo 5 is all
just
movement to me,
devotion
and I don't
and
really
desire
see-
to make the best game possible.
I guess
to
'cause they got the
Infinite.
kinda
So I wanna thank
ADS
you
sort
in
of
advance
thing.
for your time this weekend.
It just
being a
feels
part of
like
this tech
just,
preview.
definitely just a.
And that's
It
all we
feels
got.
like they
So
took,
share
like,
us your
Halo
clips
3
online.
and pulled
Head
some
to
modern
Halo Waypoint for more
elements into it.
information. And we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.
Wholesome. Well then, guys, holy moly. That was good. Yeah. Yeah, I think they nailed it. Like that's I'm just trying to think of anything that like stood out to me as, Assassinations thing. It was kind of expected to me. I'm glad they at least acknowledged it and they're like, yeah, that's something coming in the future. For pretty kind of hate Halo 5 gets. They actually, I really do think, for the most part, they did a pretty good job of those monthly updates when they had those big drops of new maps and new customization and new weapons. And like, there was some really cool stuff they did with that. And so if they nail that again with Infinite, and it's like, you know, a few months after launch, oh, now we have assassinations. Oh, now we have this. Now we got some new maps. And they just drop these like sweet packs. Like Halo 5 set an industry standard, honestly. I believe that. I've talked to a lot of like other game devs and stuff who like were just taking note of how Halo 5 was doing the free content updates. And so, you know, we don't know how long Halo Infinite will last. Theoretically, just judging, I mean, by how things are going, you know, 4 to 5 years, right? And I just, you know, my big hope is that with all the things they're doing here and, you know, how kind of, you know, they built this engine from the ground up, is that they're making something that is made to be expanded, and that's important. So they'll be able to just implement cool new stuff all the time, and we'll see where that goes. So I'm obviously hoping for like single player DLC. That would be tight. That would be super tight. How do you feel about auto clamber? You can turn that off, right? I don't know what I definitely don't have auto clamber, but dang, thanks for hanging out, guys. That was pretty neat. Very excited. Reminder, tomorrow, hopefully, like they give us a notion of when it's going to go live, because I want to stream right when this lad goes live, right here. I think on YouTube is the play. Assuming you guys like that, assuming you guys were having a good time hanging out here, I just want to stream the game. Pretty much this format we're looking at here, just go live and play some Halo and talk about it. And yeah, cool. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Love hanging out. Let me cap this off by, obviously, you know, like I've left Twitter. I am no longer on Twitter. I don't think I'll ever come back to Twitter. But I am on Instagram, and I've been posting every single day on Instagram. So I would really appreciate a follow there, because I still at least once a day post on Instagram. You know, I'll do a story from going live, swipe up kind of stuff. But Green Skull, just Green Skull on Instagram. Give me a follow. Appreciate you. And also, if you want to chat and like get pings and stuff, I also have a Discord, discord.gg/greenskull. Hit me up, join that, follow me on Instagram. Appreciate you guys. See you tomorrow for some friggin' Halo Infinite. Halo! Ah! That was a Halo earthquake. Halo earthquake! Bye, everybody. Goodbye. We fade to black. And by fade, I mean, do I have an end screen? Probably needs to be updated. We'll put it on anyway.